Hi friends, welcome to Apricity. Today we're going to be making a really cool wall hanging. It's wood and fiber. It's inexpensive, easy to make. It's really beautiful, and I think you're going to really love it, as do I. I made 2 of them for less than $10, so let's get started. So as you can see, you could go for a yarn look where you call it ombre. Some people have heard that, where you slowly go from tint and shade that you like of a hue or a color, and then you just let it evolve. As for me, I want to do something a little more simple today. So I'm going to be purchasing wool ease, and I like it because it has texture, so it's not so dull and it catches the eye, but it's more neutral in color, and so it could fit in almost any room or style, and that's what we're going to be picking up today. So we were going to go to Home Depot and get a good piece of wood and cut it in half and use a jigsaw ourselves, but Walmart has it after all. I think what we'll end up doing, just because I think it looks more classy, is to go with an original frame hanger feature, just as the back. The jute string isn't really my style. You could always paint the frame of wood if you wanted to go for something a little more vibrant. As for me, I'm kind of a plain Jane and I want the neutral look. I think it'll fit any space. So now we're going to be getting an adhesive. We're going to be using glue, and we're going to be going with our Gorilla Wood Glue today. And that's going to help us with gluing the wood. We're going to just take our jigsaw and cut it right down the middle just to look like a symmetrical half moon. Before we get started, I have a little bit of a tip, and we're going to go ahead and prep the wood. So let's get going. A pro artist tip is to place a circle inside a square, and then what we can do is find our center point there and then cut it in half. Just slice it like that, and then we'll do that to the other side, just like so. All right, so I found my center point through intersecting lines, and I created just a nice little X in the center. And from that point, then I could take my ruler or my flat edge and create a straight line. And that is how we found our half moon center point. So unfortunately, we don't have a big enough table saw, so we're gonna be using a jigsaw hand tool today. So the distance from the guide to the blade is 3.5 centimeters, so that's gonna be our touch point. All right, so now we've clamped our wood pieces down, and I've taken a straight edge, and that's going to help us better make a straight cut. And we have our distance from the guide to the blade at 3.5 centimeters away from our straight edge, and that's going to help us confidently make a great cut. All right, you guys, we're out in nice, sunny, but wintry Colorado, and I'm gonna grab my Harry Potter Miss Claus glasses, as safe to wear. Safety is always important. And I've got it lined up flush against the table now, and I'm gonna take my jigsaw and pull the trigger. Hi, you guys. All right, so we got our 2 half moons ready to go. So what did I do? I came in and grabbed my pencil and my sander, because we're going to need that to buff any hard edges. But as you can see from the lines that we marked for our cut and in prep need to be erased. But we're going to go ahead and get sanding now and snipping away this unsightly piece of hemp jute, and we'll be ready to go. So we're going to get a standard universal size for our pieces of yarn, and that what we're going to do is kind of put it in half like this. So take the half that's combined, and we're going to loop it through like so, like that. And then we'll have a bunch of these guys just waiting to be trimmed at the very end. And we'll flank it between the two of these once they're stained. And so once we have them kind of lined up like so, we'll trim just to make them universally the same size. But you could absolutely just throw on some music and vibe to that, or you could get a good show on and you could watch yourself have like a really good rhythm, because this is going to take a while. All right, so now we're going to stain our wood. It's been sanded and we've got our yarn off to the side to continue once our hands regain motion again after that constant cutting. So a synthetic flat brush would do just fine. It gets the job done pretty well, but for me, I'm a little bit lazy, so I'm going to do something that's faster. So I'm using a paint roller. I made myself a weave, you guys. Only a small portion of the audience will get that. But what I did was I took one line and took one line and like this, right? And then I ended up hanging them and looping them around this. And then you've got this scraggly yarn at the end that needs a good trim. But we have to decide what kind of trim do we want. Do we want a straight edge at the bottom, or do we want kind of a V cut? So that's what we can do, is start to line it up. Right now, we're gonna go ahead and attach this in between our half moons. So let's go ahead and do that now. All right, you guys, so I've got my gun for my weave and I'm gonna go ahead, I placed some wood blocks underneath the surface. I don't want to go out in the freezing Arctic weather, so I just decided to have it at the dinner table. I've got 2 wood blocks prepped under the half moon, and I created a little bit of a straight edge just to make sure I have the staples really straight and nice and ready to go. So let's go ahead and get into it. We're going to take our staple gun and pull the trigger. I scared my dog. You can't see, but he is fully freaked out. All right, and that's on there pretty good. All right, now we're talking. Yeah, that's the sound of power. I don't know why I said that. I've never shot a gun. How many of you guys have shot a gun? Learn how. All right, let's do one final one just for fun. Felt like that one was gonna get to the table. I don't know why. All right, let's check her out. Oh, it's starting to look like a DIY project. All right, let's go. All right, so now I think I'm gonna go ahead and just do a straight trim on this nice hairpiece. I really think that I'm gonna cut it even. I wasn't sure if I was gonna do it even, if I was gonna make it a little more cattywampus or do like the V, but I really think I want to go for a nice, solid, classic straight trim. So let's do that. All right, so I found one of those nice pieces of wood just lying around. It really came in handy for its moment to shine. I don't know if you guys have a lot of that lying around, but I sure do. So I took one of its twin brothers and I went ahead and I hammered it to the back side. That way I have some good leverage to use my Gorilla Glue and pin it down. So I'm gonna get some good healthy glue on there, healthy helping, and I'm going to just plop on my other half a moon. All right, you guys, I went ahead and just clamped my piece down in lieu of not being able to find a good enough heavy book. So I'm just gonna make it nice and even, and we're good to go. And then we've got a beautiful DIY, not macrame, but fibers piece. All right, you guys, look what we did. I'm so excited. I did not need that extra yarn that I ended up buying from Walmart. So I got one yarn, that's $6. And then the moon that we turned into the half moon was about $1. So that's $7, you guys, $7. And we made a beautiful wall hanging, and it didn't take a lot of time. It was not that hard. I can't speak for you guys, but for me, it was really pleasant and meditative. So I'm really happy, you guys. $7 for a beautiful wall hanging. And then obviously the clamps I'll take off, and then you guys will see it on the wall. All right, we did it, you guys. It was really fun and beautiful, I think. All right, you guys, so we came to the end of our DIY. I hope that you followed along and like yours. I don't know about you, but this is one of my favorite DIYs I've ever personally done, because you get 2 for under $10. And the supplies, you can get them almost anywhere. I got a whole other circle from Hobby Lobby, and they have one at Michael's and Joann's, so you can pick them up just about anywhere and then add any yarn that you want. I think my next one, I'm gonna do that ombre, that value strip of going from tint to shade. I think I'm gonna try a 3-in-1 combo, experiment with maybe the shape at the bottom and how I trim it. You can even layer pieces. I was thinking even that on top of that would look good. So this is a great gift, and it's a great item just all around. I hope you had fun, and come back to my channel and maybe do more DIYs with me. All right, take care until the next time.